you've trained a lot of the actors to pull off a lot of different things over the years of all 3 shows.
Yes.
Who are some of the ones that you're most proud of for the work that they've done? On Stargate. Not necessarily since, but I mean, you contributed to that success by giving them some training. So,
yeah. First, I mean, the first show, Atlantis, Rachel Luttrell really embraced it, and she had never had any training prior to that, martial arts wise, and she really jumped in with both feet. She had a dance background, and she just embraced it, and she's a wonderful person anyway, who takes everything very seriously and goes for it. But she's somebody who really, and of course Jason Momoa, who's gone on to do many other things since, but he's called me a few times over the years to say thank you, just sort of for the foundation. And when we've run into each other at Comic-Con or, wherever, and he's with other people from his new stunt team or what have you, his introduction is always very kind. And this is the guy that taught me everything, that sort of thing, which is really cool and very sweet. But those two were the biggest, they were in most of the action, as far as hand-to-hand combat and, what they had to, endure. Christopher Judge, who had done some stuff on SG-1, he really, really didn't know what to expect when we brought him over to Atlantis, and we had the sort of, Teal'c versus Ronon.
It was on
that shtick, and the fans are like, well, Teal'c's, but Ronon's, but realistically, Chris had said, he said, and Joe and I were talking about this the other day again, and he's like, when he was asked, well, who would win, Teal'c, or Ronon? And I asked Brad Wright that, and everybody before I had to choreograph that piece, and then the whole thing was back and forth like that the whole episode. But everybody said no. As far as the fans are concerned, it's a tie.
It's a stalemate.
No matter what, it's got to be a tie. But when you ask Chris Judge, he says, "Oh, Ronon."
He does.
He says he'd kick my ass. Did you see the shit that he does on that show? I don't, And so I said, okay, well, you're coming over to the show now, so you're gonna. It has to look like it's a stalemate. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna step up your game. And I was really proud of Chris for coming in, and he again embraced that mentality, and he trained hard. He rehearsed and he did such a great job. The two of them, that fight, actually, I just revisited it before I went on with Joe and the boys the other day, and I was like, oh, because when you look back at some of your work compared to what you do later on, when you have more resources and everything else, I was sort of looking at it thinking I was going to cringe. And that fight, by the way, that sparring match was 100% performed by the actors. 0 stunt doubles.
They had it down.
And I rehearsed them till into the ground. So, it was like second nature to them. So, I was really proud of what they accomplished. Particularly, Jason had done several, of my fights by then, but Chris had done a little bit at that time. And when he came over, he rehearsed with Jason over and over and over. And it was really, there was a healthy competition, which was cool. And you need a bit of that, And I think Chris had bad knees at the time, football injuries and whatnot. So, so I had to be mindful of that. And doesn't look like it when you watch.
No.
When you watch that, how long have they been going at it? Oh, over an hour now,
Right. Carter has to stop it.
Yeah, when Amanda shows up, and that's somebody I'm really proud of too. Amanda Tapping is out there directing her heart out. She's killing it.
She's a force.
She is, and still one of the sweetest people on, the face of this earth. Really great person, and I ran into her on Batwoman. She was the incoming director, and I was. I think she came to set while I was on set doing my episode, and she came just to say hi, which was really nice. Had a quick visit, which was cool, and she's doing really well. She's somebody who really paid attention and really spent a lot of time watching and shadowing, and she really wanted to do it. There's been a lot in that instance, there's a lot more opportunity for people now that wouldn't have got an opportunity years ago. But because there's so much more opportunity, some people are just being offered, positions, and they're not really prepared for the opportunity. So
she's not one of them.
She is not one of them. She's very, very prepared, and she's straight out of the gate. No pun intended, but she really, really studied her craft, and which is, what I tried to do. And the people who shadow me or that I end up mentoring, I find you have to be prepared. Preparation is key. There is no half-assing it. There's no 50%. It shows. And whether it shows or not on your episode, if you're directing episodic TV or your movie or whatever, the crew and the cast know. Yes, your episode might turn out fantastic, but because there's all these other people who have picked up the slack, but you don't want to be known as that person. You want to be known as somebody who came in and people leaned on you, and you're doing your job and you're running the show. And Amanda's one of those people who is at the helm, and she should be.
Exactly. We've she agreed to do the show back in September before we started airing in October, and we've just been pushed back again and again just for scheduling because she's so busy. And every time it's been like, great, this is good for you. So
yeah
we'll get you at some point. So. Yeah,
I don't know if she's finished yet. She's just finishing a producing director job here in town, and that's as I can attest to, it's an extremely busy position. So, and your job is essentially looking over, directing as well your own episodes, but also looking over the shoulder of other directors who may be new to the set, and basically ensuring that their episode turns out in whatever way, shape, or form you need to accomplish that. So it's a big it's a big undertaking. So it's a very full-time job. It's a little different now with COVID getting in the way. So things slow down.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.